I used a computer with the IoT communication program given to us in class. Here is my bot. Notice it has a purple chassis. There's my email glued to one side, name glued to the back. My group number is glued to the other side that was not shown. It is ready on 0. I did accidentally say arrived at 0. You'll notice in a minute when I get that set up instead of waiting for input. There's the group name. Forgot I reshowed all this just to make clear. The color and everything is the same as my robot. There's arrived at 0. The timer is started. The IP address is shown there in the middle. And we're kind of off. You'll notice there's a lot of times where, I'll point them out, where it kind of freezes up for a while. The internet connection is a little bit iffy, and that drops a lot. And then sometimes he just decides he doesn't want to accept commands for a little bit until I've reconnected a couple times. So that's what most of those big pauses are, and a large part of the reason that this is 20 minutes long. So we're off. There are blue markers around that help remind us which way I was supposed to drive the robot. That was not the correct way. But he decided to take a little detour before I could reconnect and stop him from moving. That little jerk he's doing, I have a function called travel, and it was supposed to be calibrated so that he would travel forwards 2 feet and then adjust for the amount that he kind of turns just naturally. But as with all things on this robot, that changed pretty drastically throughout the the demonstration. So sometimes it's a little bit helpful, sometimes it's not. It gets a lot worse later on. So we're supposed to go under this table, and you can kind of see one is over by that chair to the left behind, it's currently hidden behind the table leg. Not that table leg, the one on the left. He dropped connection a lot. Quite glad I didn't do this in person, where people would have been very annoyed waiting on me to deal with this, or probably I just might not have been able to do it. Now, no one was hiding behind the table to touch the bot there. I hope that's alright. He's not intentionally going to. It's just kind of where he wound up for right now. There's one over there by that box. The two barriers on one are that box and the chair. The chair is too low for the robot to go underneath. He is trying to curve his way over. It's frozen up again. Oh, maybe not. Adjusting a little bit, and there we go. We got at least 2 wheels on one. And in a minute, it will say... Oh, yeah, he was frozen up. So sometimes hitting a stop command helps me know when he's ready, and there arrived at 1. It only took me 220 seconds to get 20 feet. That's nothing to be ashamed of, right? Now, to get to 2, we have to go back up to that wall and touch it. Well, not touch it, but get close to that wall, and then come back, and that ends up being 20 feet. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So on this case, the kind of correction and the travel is working mostly. It's not quite enough, but it's at least compensating for it somewhat. Later on, he actually starts going perfectly straight, and then the correction messes it up. So, it's great. He's made to the wall and come back. And he's going to go try and get to number 2. I did name the robot Lucky, by the way. It's a little tiny silver 4-leaf clover on the front. Actually, it might be a 3-leaf clover. I think I put the wrong one on it. It's fine. He's lucky because kind of lucky that he's working, but he's not lucky in the fact that he had to deal with me all semester. But I'm definitely surprised he's still working even as well as he is. Made plenty of mistakes. And we're going to line it up to 2. And that's 2 wheels on 2. And in a second, it's upside down, but there we can see it does say arrived 2. And hey, 242 seconds. That didn't take so long. Maybe that wasn't 242. I don't remember. And now to get to 3, it's kind of on the other side of the room. We foolishly decided that it was a good idea to put chairs in the way instead of just go under them. So that's going to cause a couple of hang-ups here in a minute. Bonk. Got connected again, or moving forwards. Gotta go under the chairs. We actually didn't test to make sure the chairs were tall enough to not hit the IoT module beforehand, so thankfully they were. And respect and much thanks to my camera person for crawling under the table. Hardwood floor is not fun on the knees. There we go, got it lined up. Just have to make it through without hitting any of the table legs, chair legs. That should be fine. Oh, bonk. There we go. Lined up, maybe, mostly. Can he do it? I don't know. I don't remember. This was last night, and it took a long time. Seeing this as exciting as I am. He's lost connection again. That's what this pause is about. You can kind of see the red light glowing through the board. That indicates that he's not currently connected. We are moving the chairs other ways so the camera person can crawl around the table better. The other chairs, these 2 chairs will stay in the same spots for this run. Just gonna make it around ice cream cone box, and on to 3. Can we do it? I'm sure this is very exciting to watch. And you've got 2 wheels on 3. Let's go look and see. He says arrived at 3, 616 seconds, 616 seconds. Yeah, it's not like we're not even halfway through the course or anything. But we are about halfway done time-wise. I'll do the next little bit quicker. Now 4 is over there just to the left out of view of the camera. To make 20 feet, we have to go all the way up to the door, move over, and get back down. He is going to go 2-4. That was not intentional. That was where the that travel function I have, and he adjusts. It was working great up until now, but now he's decided that he's going to actually travel straight when I tell him to go straight, and he no longer needs the adjustment, but he still uses the adjustment because I can't program that out midway through the journey. I probably could have done some more complex code to allow me to change that via the IoT module, but I didn't think I would need to do that. So that was not before landing. He's going to go up here first. He'll wiggle around and get a bit, not intentionally, but it does get that 20 feet distance in. We'll just pretend that there's large obstacles that he's avoiding. Yeah. Just gonna move over. Go. Now he can go to 4. Come on, Lucky, you got this. You're a good bot. Try and get the camera here at an angle you can see where he's going, but it's kind of difficult with the door in the way. I'm just going to wait on that for a minute until he can move far enough forwards. And we're going to try and line it up to hit 4. I'm going to do this one backwards just because that's what happened. Style points, right? And that's 2 wheels on. There we go. And it says arrive 4. Hey, we're halfway done with the IoT course. Woo! Only 14 minutes into it. I'll connect you in a minute now. I assure you this was just as boring when we actually filmed it. You can see the red light indicating he has not received a successful ping back yet. There we go. And he's got a successful ping. The key might's back on, and he is reconnected properly. the way the LEDs work is that every time I send a ping, it goes to red, and every time it receives a successful one back, it goes back to green. So it's not always perfectly indicative of whether or not it's connected to the Wi-Fi properly, but it usually gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on. And so those two blue pieces of tape on the floor indicate where we have to get up and past to get to 20 feet when we go back to 5, which is in the corner of the kitchen back there. And so theoretically, it's just a straight shot, so yeah, no more corrections here. See, my name is still on the back of the car. I have not magically switched the cars out. That name is glued there. It will not come off. Nope, he's gonna go. That's not where 5 is, buddy. You can see that's that travel correction. Once again, not working so well. Trying to overcompensate for it and adjust this way so we kind of curve into 5. I don't think it works, but we'll find out. Oh no, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just gonna go straight and adjust later. Never mind. Now that gap right there between the fridge and the cabinets would be quite the deadly trap. I don't think the bot would be able to get itself back out of there if it goes in there. So really glad that doesn't happen, because that would mean I have to restart 17 minutes into this. Looks like we might try another fancy back up into 5. I did realize that since he's going straighter now, backing up may be the more accurate way to do this, since it won't have that travel adjustment in it. The travel adjustment is only for forwards. There we go, we're going to back it up. That's 2 wheels on. I also backed it up to make it easier to see the screen. And we arrived at 5. And if you notice, we're almost at 999 seconds. So I did code in so that once it hit 999 seconds, which I didn't think it would, I thought I would be faster at this, then it would roll over and the first character would go to an A, like in hex, you know, because A would indicate 10. I didn't really have enough room on my screen for much more than that. I just honestly just didn't think I would need it. So that kind of worked. You'll see next time we stop and look at that. Oh yeah, there you go, buddy. Right into the leg. You should have just gotten rid of the chairs. Six is on the other side of the table, up against the couch in the corner. There are blue pieces of tape around one of the table legs that you can't see right this second. Those are supposed to remind us that we need to get an extra 2 feet of distance. But the wiggling more than compensated for the 2 feet of distance, so I did not bother to try and revolve around the tiny table leg. Because that's for if you're doing a direct straight shot from 5 to 6. You're about 2 feet short. But if you come out and around, you get plenty of distance. Get the full 20 feet. So that's what we did. And now I'm going in smaller steps on the forwards to try and avoid it correcting. It does still occur sometimes, but it's less often. That is, that's kind of 2 wheels. Yeah, we got 2 front wheels on. I don't know if I corrected more. And there we go. It says arrive 6. You can see a little A-ish on the timer. And 7 is back, if you remember, next to 0. Straight shot to that is 20 feet. It will not be a straight shot, but it is 20 feet. Or maybe you're supposed to wiggle a little bit. Either way, we get 20 feet in. There's the black line board that we'll take care of here in a little bit. It will not work on this first run because it was accounting for that travel correction, and he decided to not need it, so that'll mess us up. But we will get to 8 on this IoT run. Trying to get it lined up to go more or less straight. And that was that travel correction again. Not working as intended. You see 7 over there, it's got a box and a book making a corner. That blue tape right there is just beyond 2 feet from the edge of 8, so that helps us know when we can't give it any more adjustments as per the instructions. I think I try and back it up to have an easier shot at 8. Maybe not, I don't remember. Doesn't matter because it won't go straight, but yeah. Here I lost connection after giving it too long of a spin command, so you're just going to spin for a minute so I can stop that, or maybe it stops it on its own, I don't remember. There we go, that's 2 wheels on 7. Doesn't he say arrive 7? And we're gonna turn I'm going to get over and try and compensate for the curve that's going to happen when it goes to 8. I just have to avoid any complications of no, I wasn't adjusting it. I just have one command that gets sent 2 feet from 8, and it goes up there and then does its thing. Ideally, I would hit that blue tape straight on, but I'm going to do it at a little bit of an angle. I think I get a little bit closer, but it's frozen right now, so it's going to take a minute. That's me looking for, I send a bunch of stop commands until it reads stop at the top, and that's how I know I can send new commands again. And it just flushes out any commands that I sent before a lost connection that might go through afterwards that I wouldn't want to deal with. And there we go, we're lined up with the blue tape. A little bit over 2 feet from number 8. And I'm going to send my last command here in a second. And I wasn't sure if it needed to say arrived at 8 or black line start at 8. So once it hits 8, it says arrived at 8. And then immediately after that, as it starts moving, it says black line start. I'm not sure if the camera picks that up well enough here, but we'll see any minute now. There we go. That was the last command I sent. That was that travel adjustment doing its thing. The caster is on the paper. I think we go look at that in a second. Yep. And there it was, messing itself up with the left curve and running straight into the table leg. So that was my OT course. Again, we are using the program giving us to control it from the computer. There's the same bar as before. It's got my name on it. There's the purple chassis. There we go. I've started the timer, and I'm changing it to arrived 7, just so it's got a nice baseline there. And we are going to go. I believe I removed the travel adjustment in this one, but I don't remember. Also, I filmed this, so it's a little bit less accurate than having a second person do it. There we go. Perfectly stopped straight away. Let's see how well he does it now when I send that last command. And he's not getting it yet. There we go. I'm going to go forwards. I'm going to stop. Arrived at 8. Black line start. I'm going to go up, turn, over, stop, turn. He's going to say he's ready to intersect. And then he's going to go. He's going to look for that black line. He's going to hit it right there in the middle of that curve. He's going to say black line travel. And he's going to move up. He's going to follow that curve until he gets about here. And he's going to stop and say black line circle. And in testing, I never had any issues with him going inside the circle, so I never bothered to code to account for that. And I haven't gotten him to successfully hit the black line again, what with him changing kind of the angles of him doing all this stuff. So he's going to do this for a minute, and I'll have someone come up and send the exit command on the computer as I realize I put it out of my reach. So that'll take a minute for him to get to where they can do that. So he's just going to go around the circle a few times. I mean, he's absolutely not following it, but he's going in a circle, so yeah, sure. Yeah. And then he's going. Well, he saw the circle there for a second, but he doesn't know what to do about it. He's just lost. I swear it worked in testing, but oh well. And we're gonna go ahead and put him out of his misery here. Big round of applause to Lucky for giving it a valiant effort. Thank you, Lucky. There he goes. Off into the sunset. There you go. Black line stop or finish, whatever it was, and he's done. It does say the last command, but that doesn't really matter.